Hi gang, how are you? How you doing today? Yesterday I was on and I did a video on how about restricting your calories too much and how that can really affect your metabolism, how it could slow it down. So I wanted to go a little more into detail, just a little bit, and explain to you a little bit more about that. So if you're struggling or not eating enough, which a lot of us tend to do, we restrict too much when you're trying to lose weight because you think that that's the way to do it, right? Well, trying to achieve and maintain a healthy weight can definitely be a challenge, especially, in today's society where food is just constantly available and it's everywhere. So the thing is, with not eating enough calories, it can also be a major concern for you and your health. So whether you're doing it intentionally or you're just not feeling that hungry, or for whatever reason, under eating on a regular basis can lead to a number of mental, physical, and even emotional health issues. Okay, so I have a few tips I guess I want to share with you about what can happen when you're actually, other than just your metabolism slowing down, when you're not eating enough. So number one is you're not going to have as much energy. I mean, that seems to make sense to me, right? If you're not putting enough fuel into your body, you're not putting that energy in, so you're not going to be able to put that energy out. So calories are actually units of energy, and your body needs them to function. So when you don't eat enough calories, you're most likely to feel tired a lot of the time. So the number of calories that are actually needed for just basic functions in a 24-hour period that's actually considered your resting metabolic rate. Now, most people have a resting metabolic rate higher than 1,000 calories per day. And then you add your physical activity to that. Just getting up and walking around, that causes energy. You need energy for that. That's physical activity, okay? So hormones, too, they play a role in our energy balance. Generally, if you're taking in more calories than needed, you'll store it as excess fat, and then if you take in less calories than needed, then you'll lose weight, right? Well, restricting your calorie intake to fewer than 1,000 calories on a daily basis will, slow down your metabolism and lead to, overall fatigue. You're just so tired since you're not taking in enough calories to support even just your basic functions to keep you alive. Okay, so definitely don't restrict below 1,000 calories. It's so not good for you and your health. So another thing is hair loss. So losing hair can definitely be very stressful. And it's normal to lose several strands of hair, every day on a daily basis. So the thing is, if you're noticing an increased amount of hair accumulating like on your hairbrush or in the shower drain, that might be a sign that you're not eating enough, because all of those nutrients, they're needed to maintain your just normal healthy hair growth. So another thing you want to think about, or you probably won't have to think about it because it'll be right there, is constant hunger. So obviously if you're not eating enough, you're most likely going to feel hungry, right? Well, being hungry all the time is just one of the most obvious signs that you're probably not eating enough. And studies actually have confirmed that appetite and food cravings will increase in response to a calorie reduction due to the change in the levels of your hormones and cortisol. And cortisol, helps us as that stress hormone. And if you're hungry and your body's stressed out, there goes that cortisol, it's going to raise right up. So that's why it's so important not to put the body under stress. So another thing you want to think about is your your sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, or if you're not getting enough sleep, you're putting your body under stress again. Or if you're not sleeping well, because sleep deprivation will give you insulin resistance, and then insulin resistance leads to weight gain. okay? So in addition to that, while overeating may cause sleeping, not to sleep so well, also strict dieting can lead to sleep problems as well. So there was actually a study or research done between animals and humans that showed like a starvation level diet, that complete restriction, that it led to sleep interruptions and a reduction in their really deep sleep, which we all really need. Okay. And then also look out for being irritable, because if you're not eating enough and you're hungry, then you're most likely irritable. So if little things have begun to maybe set you off, or it might just be that you're not eating enough, you're getting a little irritable. And there was actually this was a study done in men who experienced underweight. They underwent a calorie restriction, and these men developed moodiness and these other symptoms. They were actually consuming on average like 1,800 calories. And remember, this is for men, but this was too low for them, and this was considered like semi-starvation for them during this test, or not test, study. Sorry, can't think of my words. So during this study, this is what was considered like semi-starvation for these men, and so then they became really moody. So depending on who you are, male or female, and what your activity level is, will depend on what your calories need to be and where you fall underneath not eating enough. My crazy connection. Okay, there. I think I'm back. My connection here we go. Losing my connection. Also, you could develop some anxiety if you're hungry. So although dieting in itself may lead to moodiness, just feeling anxious can occur in response to that low calorie intake. So there was actually this really large study done of like 2,500 Australian teens, and 62% of them were classified as extreme dieters. Now, teens are, it's common for teens to always look for like a quick fix, or, the magic pill and things like that, because of just, socialization with them. They all want to fit in and look a certain way. So they were, this study was done, they were considered extreme dieters, and they reported high levels of depression and anxiety. So it's definitely not, personally, I think if whatever habits you have that ability to change your habits, create healthy habits for yourself, and then be that role model for your children and your grandchildren and so on. And that's how we want to teach our kids, so that we're not, so that they're not looking elsewhere for other fad diets or wrong information. And you're setting them off on a healthy path too. That's really important, because we don't want them to, like this study, end up with the anxiety and depression. Okay, so the bottom line, what I'm getting to is that, although overeating, increases your risk of developing health problems, undereating can also give you problems as well. So this is especially true with like a chronic calorie restriction. So instead, to lose weight sustainably, make sure that you're eating at least here 1,200 calories or more. Okay, you don't want to restrict yourself. And again, I'll say it, restriction leads to cravings, leads to binging, and there goes that dieting yo-yo cycle again. And we want you off of that hamster wheel, right? Okay. So if you have any questions about the content I covered today, please feel free to reach out. And just a reminder, my 14-day reset cleanse is coming up, only a week and a half away. It's coming up so soon, and I'm getting so excited. So if you have any questions about that, because that's going to really help if you're somebody who doesn't eat the healthiest right now, or even if you do eat pretty healthy, it is going to up-level your nutrition. It's going to make your body feel so much better, and it's going to set you on a healthy path to continue on to this new year. So if you have any questions whatsoever about any of these health things that I talk about, or any of your own health things that you have that you are curious to dive deeper into, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will always get back to you. So I hope you have a very beautiful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.